420 MSP, Harry here, and we're just flying further and faster into the cannabis technology ecosystem. And as we start to wrap up 2020, I bumped into Brandon over at Branched Roots, a digital marketing agency that's quickly building a reputation in the cannabis vertical. So, sir, how you doing? Looks like you're out Christmas shopping or having fun. What's going on?
Yeah, just bouncing from meeting to meeting right now, trying to stay outside with the virus at full swing, but doing well. Things are busy, and I can't complain.
All right. Well, yeah, when I was doing my research, building out my ecosystem players, I bumped into you. And what was interesting is, my traditional company, SMB Nation's a publisher. So we're well versed with what agencies are, digital marketing agencies, and so on. And you're one of the first that you've raised your hand and you said one of our specialties is the cannabis vertical. So talk to me. What do you do? And then maybe you have some insights about what makes the cannabis vertical unique.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're a digital agency. There's a kind of a three-piece wheelhouse I think we live in. One is design, graphic design, branding design. Two being development, front end and back end. And then three being really our specialty is the SEO PPC side of it. And like most people know, Google kind of rules that market. So we've had to learn to navigate a lot of different things. So cannabis and firearms are really like the two hardest industries to get around some of the Google restrictions. And so we've had quite a bit of success with some CBD and some cannabis companies. And so we've really learned kind of a pathway to success with these companies. And so that's really why we kept honing in on it, is because we started cracking the codes and it started to work. And so we were just replicating it for other companies.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the little I know about this area and in this particular vertical, again, if you went back to my past life and network infrastructure and IT, I could use up all the rest of our time in talking about digital marketing. But the little I know, you have, as you were alluding to, some restrictions like geofencing and maybe age restrictions. Talk to me.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. Geofencing is a little more of kind of targeting audience where isn't as limited, although due to state lines and state regulations, there are some lines you have to walk pretty tightly there. Age restriction is a big one. It's like a brewery or like a firearm or any other regulated industry. You really have to ensure that you're taking the right security steps and making sure you're vetting out who's coming to the site. But also just search terms in general. The cannabis industry being so new, I think Google's kind of and other search engines are really just trying to figure out how to best handle that whole situation. So really, it's it used to be like cannabinoids, or cannabinoids was a way to get around searching for actual cannabis, but now Google is actually, and it's day to day with Google because
I know
the industry's so rapidly that we really have to do our research and due diligence daily to understand what's going on in the industry. And every industry has that, but nothing has been like the challenge of staying on top of the cannabis industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you're based out of Boise, Idaho. Let's talk about your geography. We'll call it good for this hello world, and we'll check back with you next quarter. So Boise, Idaho, did I get that right?
You did. Yep. Here in Boise. It's I've been here a native. It used to be a small town, and it's truly turned into a metropolitan area.
It has.
People say it's like Austin in the late 90s.
Yeah, I would concur. One of my buddies from Cisco, boy, he must have moved 10 years ago. He had it with the east side of Seattle, the cost of living. And so check this out. He took his Seattle salary and his equity in a house on the east side to Boise. Couldn't be happy.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good move. A pretty good move. And with everybody working remote, we've seen a huge influx of people that they work out of the Bay, or they work out of Seattle, and they essentially work remote out of their house here. So it's been impressive to see. There's a lot of pros and cons going on with it, but it's definitely a massive spike in growth here in the valley.
Yeah. Hey, last question. How many hours? How long a drive to Sun Valley to get on those ski slopes from where you're at?
It's about 2 hours, but a little over 2 hours. But yeah, I was just up in Haley, Ketchum area a few weeks ago, and the slopes are already pretty inviting. It's looking pretty good. I think they're going to have a great winter.
All righty. All right. Keep it safe, Brandon. We'll talk to you next quarter. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks, Eric. Cheers.
All righty. Bye-bye.